be forced to testify. Donald Trump obviously trying to stop that. Let's see if he goes to the full panel, Court of Appeals panel, and then potentially to the Supreme Court to try and stop that from happening. There's also the Georgia DA looking into his role in what happened in Georgia in the 2020 election. There are a number of cases that he is facing. This is just the first one to bring an indictment. It's not clear if the other ones will, but this is certainly the first one to bring an indictment. Barb, I don't know if you're still with us, Barbara McQuaid. I just want to get you on the record for what Andrea just reported about the denial. What's your expectation of where it goes?
Yeah, I think that's a very significant decision today because it seems that Mark Meadows and some of these key aides are part of the last phases that you would imagine Jack Smith wants to put in the grand jury before he can complete his investigation. So very significant that we've seen this quick decision in the Court of Appeals. I imagine Donald Trump will be weighing his options. Delay is his friend. And if only for that reason, I could imagine him first appealing it to the full en banc Court of Appeals and then to the Supreme Court. But I don't think he's going to win. This law is actually really quite clear under the precedent of U.S. versus Nixon that executive privilege yields when it comes to a grand jury investigation. So I'm pleased to see that it's moving so quickly because ultimately I think Jack Smith will get this evidence, and it's just a matter of how long Donald Trump can stall before he gets it.
And so we watch as Donald Trump makes his way down to be arraigned on charges that we don't yet know the details of, but which NYPD, Secret Service, other law enforcement agencies have been preparing for quite some time now. You see that edge there of one of the helicopters. Joining us, somebody who knows a lot about the preparations that would have gone into this, former NYPD Commissioner Bill Bratton, now Executive Chairman of Risk Advisory at Teneo. You know the NYPD better than almost anyone. What is their posture right now?
Posture is effectively what you're seeing on the screen, a lot of coverage.
Show of force?
Show of force, a lot going on behind the scenes, however. Probably more importantly behind the scenes, the intelligence gathering to ensure that they're aware of any potential threats. What they're most concerned with is what they're not aware of inside the potential rule. But at this moment, there's been no active threats made against this event or Mr. Trump or the court or the district attorney.
What's the level of confidence, or is that the wrong word? You're never confident until it's over.
It's a good expression, but no, I think that Kelly did a phenomenal job after 9/11, significantly enhancing those abilities, and it served the department in this city, this country very well over these ensuing 20-some-odd years.
If there's one thing, Andrew Weissman, that Donald Trump likes to show, is that he is in control. We have some, I think, still photos of him when he was leaving Trump Tower just a little while ago. When you see it on the other side, he's waving. I'm told at one point he kind of had a little fist bump maybe to some of the people who were gathered there. I remember listening, since we were talking to Ari Melber a little while ago, of Michael Cohen being on his program and saying that this isn't something that Donald Trump will deal well with. And I can't imagine that for many white-collar people who are charged with white-collar crimes, they're used to being in control. There is no control, is there, when he enters that place?
Absolutely. So I think that's one of the reasons that you sort of had this ironic sort of motion by the Trump defense team saying, we do not want cameras in the courtroom. We don't want it to be a circus. Well, of course, what he's really saying is, I don't want to be viewed in a position where I am not in control. And for many white-collar defendants, who especially like executives and CEOs, this is the first time in their life that you have sort of a type A personality who doesn't run the show, where people aren't just sort of sucking up to that person and saying yes to them. They actually have to take orders and directions from something that is out of their control, which is the court system. And here, where you have somebody who is a criminal defendant, they do not get to dictate what is happening. The judge does. So they can make motions, and they can, as Ari said, they have to have facts and law on their side. But they really are in a very different position. And so Donald Trump will find himself just like any other defendant, particularly any
taken seriously, but prosecutors are kind of fungible. You can replace one with another. And I think most criminal defendants understand that. Unless you make it personal, they really don't pose such a great danger. But in a situation like this, where it's
Y hasta la ambulancia era por si en caso.
From a particular individual, it's rather a sort of sense of threat and a sense of attack from a whole portion of the population. I think that must be extremely hard to deal with. And I guess they have to muster all of the professional training that they've had and experience.
The DA's office, or where they're going to set up as the DA's office to be fingerprinted. Again, no mugshot. But after that fingerprinting, he will walk down the hall to the courtroom where he will be arraigned. Yasmin Visugian is standing by for us out there. The motorcade just passed by. Yasmin, what can you tell us?
Sí, ya se bajaron.
Yeah, so it hasn't passed by. It's actually just pulling up on Hogan Place, right behind where I'm standing now. A massive motorcade. Obviously, the Secret Service, the motorcade as well, getting into formation for a former president, stepping out of his vehicle. You see the Secret Service now stepping outside, taking a look around. Massive Secret Service presence all along.
¿Tú crees?
Right there. We're just awaiting him to step outside his vehicle once they have
Ahí está, Ira.
the security here. And then you see the former president there stepping out of his vehicle. He gave a wave to the crowd here, making his way into the building in which he'll be fingerprinted. And now, no, Katie, he will not, in fact, have a mugshot taken of him. A wave, but a very serious look for Donald Trump as he makes his way into that building for what we have accurately described as a very serious, if familiar proceeding, probably hundreds of those folks who go through. But we saw that Trump has been posting on Truth Social. Andrea?
This post is heading to Lower Manhattan, the courthouse. This is from the car. It seems so surreal, Caps. Wow, Caps. Are they going to arrest me, Caps? Can't believe this is happening in America. MAGA, Caps, exclamation point. So it's penetrating, and Chris and Katie, we've all covered Donald Trump, for a long time. Katie, you spent the most time with him during the campaign. This is surreal. It's surreal for everyone in America.
Yeah.
But for him, it is penetrating. It is this serious. He is using it to his advantage, trying to, not only does he raise money, but, build support. But his desire to address reporters, we've been told before he goes into the courtroom, after, as Andrew just mentioned and Rebecca was talking about, and Bill Bratton, he is going to be fingerprinted. He's going to put his hands on the digital fingerprint reader, and this is, Katie, this is Donald Trump, unlike the powerful man you covered, the fist-bumping, president of the United States.
Yeah, and listen, this is Donald Trump being treated, with a few caveats, being treated like everybody else. He's being accused of committing a crime, and now he's being fingerprinted. He no longer has the office of the presidency to protect him. And ladies, as I was watching that motorcade go down the FDR, it was so reminiscent of the first time that we saw a really big, wasn't a motorcade, but something that looked similar, and that was the slow speed OJ chase that my parents covered when I was a kid, and that is burned into my brain. And the straight line you can draw from what happened there with that trial and the media coverage and the circus that it produced.
La carita que tiene en agüitado. ¿Lo miras?
To what we saw with Donald Trump and his rise in 2016, all of those rallies, the attention that he got, the unparalleled media time that he got, that his rivals complained so much about. He was getting all the attention and they weren't getting anything. And then what happened in the presidency? This is just an extension of that. It's more of the same. Donald Trump, again, and it's so overused at this point, but sucking the oxygen from just about everything. The question is, will it still for the Republican nomination for President of the United States is now under arrest? It is a sobering moment. And even though he's very consistent, sending out social media posts from the car saying again, seems so surreal. Wow, they are going to arrest me. Can't believe this is happening in America. You could shorten that and say that for Donald Trump, perhaps he can't believe this is happening. He did not believe, certainly in this case, from the reporting from inside, that this was going to happen. And it has now happened. Donald J. Trump is under arrest. Andrew Weissman, your thoughts?
When you were talking to Governor Kasich, there was a discussion about whether this is a sad day, and I just wanted to give a different way that I think the prosecutors in this case might be looking at it, many viewers, which is there's no question that there is a sadness to what we're seeing and how
fuck Trump.
who is under arrest. But I
Take
think
the person out of it, but the fact that somebody who was the leader of the free world is now under indictment.
Absolutely, but I think that the sadness is if you're looking at this from a prosecutor's perspective, I think they would say the sadness was